hello again. We meet again on Vacation Station TV, your virtual getaway. How's everybody doing today? It's Thursday. I do apologize for the late video that I put up only early this morning because I had no internet for 3 days. What the heck's going on? No internet for 3 days. You want to know the story? You want to know how it happened? On Sunday night, we had a storm come through. Sunday. And I didn't realize it. I had left the cabin and came downtown, and the storm rolled through. It snapped a power pole in half. That's how strong it was, and tore down all the wires through the street where I am. And that pole snapped and fell right in front of our driveway. And then it proceeded to tear all the wires going up the mountain even further down. Just ripped them out, breaking poles and ripping wires out. So here it is. I come home after I went shopping, and I had gotten groceries. I think I mentioned it somewhere, but I had gotten groceries. They were in the trunk. I pull up the street. There's trucks all over. Now, they weren't the power trucks. They were volunteers, just people, guys in pickup trucks, preventing anybody from riding over these wires. That's how cool this state is. That would never have happened in Florida. New York, forget it. You stop, your tires get stolen. You stop at a traffic light, your car will be stripped. You'll be sitting in a skeleton of a car. Be going to the chili chop shop. And so I was very like, whoa, what's going on? The guy goes, man, the pole broke off, and you could see it right in the middle of the road. Transformer hit, exploded, and then tore down all the wires for as far as I could see. Hundreds and hundreds of yards of cable and poles just snapped. So he goes, I think it's going to be a while. Allegedly, the power company's on its way. And I go, oh man, what am I going to do? I said, and I just bought a whole bunch of groceries, which there's meat in there. And you think I could go to my cabin? He goes, well, you can't drive up there. And I go, no, I understand. I said, look in between those trees right there. So you see that cabin? That's my house. I live here. I'm not a renter. I live here. I said, I have a path that's right here that Rosie takes. It was Rosie Bear's path. And he goes, well, I guess so. I said, I'll just back my car up, pull it down here off the road a little bit, and I'll walk my groceries up. That was a big mistake because it is really steep where I live, and I'm so terribly out of shape. Clearly, when I got to the top of the hill, I go, what a fat pile of crap you are. And I'm talking to myself. I go, my God, you used to be able to run up and down these places. And I go, well, not anymore. Not anymore. So that was a rude awakening. That was a wake-up call. Put down the ding-dongs. But I don't need ding-dongs. I just need to get out and walk more. When the fall comes, I get out and I do my hiking around. Then I'll start trimming down again. Just this summer's been so hot, I can't go out in the sun because of my MS. So I have to stay out of the sun, so I can't go walking around and hiking around like I like. So I got to wait for the fall to come, cooler weather. I don't get a flare-up that way. So needless to say, I did get into the cabin, put all my stuff. Now you got to remember, there's no power. There's no internet, no power, no nothing. But I threw everything in the freezer because that's the coldest spot, and shut that door real quick, and then walked back to my car. And I told the guy, thank you much. I couldn't stay in the house because it was getting so hot in there because it was 95 degrees. And without AC and no fan, you're going to die in there. So I said, I guess I'll go fill up the tank and go drive around. So that's what I did. All right, fast forward. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Don't go anywhere. Don't go to Yitz. So, 2 days pass. Nothing. No response. Nothing. I'm going, what the hell is going on here? I haven't seen truck one. Allegedly, after let me go back. I called the power company, called the cable company, called Domino's, and said, hey, you can't talk to them, but I'm saying, hey, what's going on? It's an automated service. I had to go all the way back into town because the phone doesn't work up there without internet. So I'm talking to this robot. If you like our services, hit 1. If you'd like to rob us some more, hit 2. If you'd like to give up your first male-born child, press 3. So I'm pounding away on this phone. I'm getting out, ready to hurl it out the window. Really was. And I realized I wasn't getting anywhere because I was trying to address the prompt that there's an emergency. There is no emergency. No matter what prompt I hit or they led me down, it didn't allow me to get any further than some operator robot telling me, if there's an emergency, press this, press that. And I'm doing it and nothing happened. We're aware that there is, now it says we're aware that there is an outage in your area. And no, we're going to get to it or anything like that. I go, what the hell's going on here? What the hell? So finally, I'm in town. I'm getting really aggravated. I mean, really aggravated. I said, all right, I have to search further. I can't, this stupid number isn't going to work. So I finally got a hold of their corporate number and called up corporate, and I had to convince the secretary. She said, oh my God, how can I help you? Oh my God, how can I help you? You know, oh God. I said, ma'am, I got an emergency. There are wires down on my property, my road, my driveway, and they're hot. And what's your address? What's your name? What's your dog's name? Chewing gum. And so finally we got through that. Then they put me through to a technician, and I explained the situation. He goes, huh, it's kind of funny. Doesn't show here on my computer that you're out of power. I said, sir, allow me to re-educate you on this. I'm out of power and the wire is on my property and it's sparking. Do you think you could send somebody up here? You know, nothing. They had idiots working there. So finally, we come to an agreement. He's going to have it looked into. All right? Isn't this sad? Isn't this sad? So finally, after a couple of hours, I drive back up my road, expecting the worst, and there's a truck. I go, hey, finally you're here. Finally you're here. I've been waiting since 1961. You know, and the guy goes, hey, looks like you got a problem here. No, dude, Sherlock. Yep, transformer's down. Yep, used to be on top of that pole there. Yep. I'm going, holy, what the hell? Am I in Mayberry or something? What is going on? Somebody, please. So he gets on this radio and it goes, you know, the wire down, all right, you know, going on and on. And he says, all right, they're sending out trucks. So finally they send out trucks, and they get, well, I'm not done yet. I'm not even close to done. And I didn't realize this, but I'm on the road to GATLINBURG. I'm so busy chatting to you. So finally, they get out there. They get the power on. All right? This was after quite a while. And they leave the wires in the road. They took the transformer, but all these cables and connectors that are 1 foot to 2 foot long, the big wire connectors that hold on to the poles, they're just sitting in the road. I'm going, this is great. This is great. So this went out for 2 days. Wires in the road. Big, giant black cable, 2 big silver cables, and these connectors. They're just sitting there. Cars are driving over them. Trucks are driving over them. People are walking over them. Now, the power had been cut off there, and they replaced the wires with new wiring, but they left the old wire, just left it there in the road and my driveway. So I go, okay, what do you want to... Oh, by the way, and I still don't have internet. I got power, but I don't have any internet, and that's driving me crazy because I can't upload. This goes back to why I said sorry for the video. I can't upload videos because there's no Wi-Fi at all. I couldn't even get a phone call out. I had to go down into town to get a phone call. Now, granted, people are going, well, big boy, if you didn't have to move into your fancy cabin on the mountains, you would be down here with the rest of us. You know, it's like, oh, gee whiz, no. I understand. I deal with it. But I get aggravated at the stupidity of it. And by the way, here it is. I was talking Sunday. Today's Thursday. There's a cable still in the road. It's still in the road. I digress. Let's go back a little bit. So, power's on, no internet, cable's still in the road. So I said, what am I going to do? Now, of course, no internet, so I had to go drive down into town to get a signal to make a phone call. You with me so far, childrens? You with me? Okay, good. And I got the AC on. It's 85 degrees. It's very, very comfortable right now. So, I get into town. I go, what am I going to do? I can't call these stupid robot phones. So, what do I do? I say, first, I'm more concerned. I got power, so I'm cool with that. So I went to AT&T because I asked the guy in the truck, whose cables are these? And he pointed out his cables. He said, this is the power company cables, and you got power now. I said, okay, great. But this big-ass black cable and these silver cables, who owns these? He goes, the big giant, and I'm talking 2 inches in diameter. These aren't just regular cable. These are serious cableage. And he goes, that's AT&T. I said, what about the silver one? He goes, that's Xfinity. I said, all right, now I know. So, I go down into Sevierville, go to AT&T. It's just a phone store. That's all it is. And I go in there and ask the girl, I said, chances are you're not going to be able to help me unless you can give me a phone number to call. And there'll be, after this, there's another little funny part that you may find it funny, I don't know. I didn't find it funny at the time, but I'm not taking the bypass, by the way. I'm going to go in straight through GATLINBURG. So, I go in to see the girl at AT&T, and I told her my plight, my problem, my tales of woe. And she said, how about I give you a number to call? And I said, it's not going to be the 228-2020 number, is it? She says, yes, that's a toll-free number. I said, ma'am, I've been trying to call that number for days. She says, the trick is you got to keep hitting 0. Just keep hitting it. I go, oh, a little trick that I learned. But prior to that, going back several days, I tried that number, and it was a robot. And it says, for our emergency number, dial this. So I said, all right, great, I got it. And it's clearly said, and even on Google, it says emergency number. When I went to it, I clicked it, and it brought up on Google. Look at that, emergency number. I'll get some help now. Now I'll be saved. Guess again, fat boy. I was wrong. So I called the number, and it was around this time, it was around 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. And I called the number, and you've reached the AT&T emergency number. Our operating hours are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. weekdays, Central Standard Time. And I had to take a deep breath because I realized how stupid that recording was. Think about it. Our emergency number is operational from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I didn't know emergencies didn't happen after 4 p.m. I guess up here in the Smoky Mountains, they do. So here I am. It's 9 o'clock. I tried. It doesn't even let me leave a message. It says, thank you for calling. And it hung up on me. I'm going, what if the wire is wrapped around my neck and I'm strangling to death and I'm trying to get a hold of AT&T? I'd have to do it before 4 p.m. That was the answer to my question. I need to have an emergency before 4 p.m. So, I continue my quest. I can't believe I'm already in Gatlinburg telling you this story. So, I sit in the parking lot of AT&T, and I start looking up more numbers for AT&T. I finally come across their corporate number. Their corporate number in Knoxville. So I searched through the contact list, and I tried dialing a couple of numbers, and all I got was leave a message, leave a message. I finally got through to somebody. I go, whoa, you're alive? The guy goes, yeah, his name was Charles. Nice guy. And I said, please don't hang up on me and don't put me through to a robot. I said, here's my problem. Hopefully you can help me. So I relayed the entire problem to him. And he says, so this is an emergency? I said, oh, yes, it is, sir. This is an emergency. These wires are down. The entire community all around me does not have phone service with AT&T, and they don't have any internet service. So he took down all the information. I gave him everything plus a pint of blood and some bone marrow. And he said, we'll take care of it right away. Now here it is Thursday, and that cable is still in the road on my driveway, down all the way up. I could easily count a dozen phone poles, power poles, that do not have the AT&T hookup. They have not come out. Now the silver lining in this story is after I called up AT&T and felt vindicated and I felt, all right, things are happening, I continued my search. So I searched for Xfinity. Now, of course, you can call their regular number and get routed around to nothingness. But I said, I had good luck calling corporate. So I says, let me find their corporate office. So their corporate office is in Knoxville as well. So I called the corporate office, and it didn't take me long to get through to anybody. I was surprised. I had a couple of prompts, and bingo, this guy gets on. And I go, who am I talking to? And he goes, my name is JJ. And immediately I recognize the accent. And I go, I recognize the accent. I said, where are you? He goes, I'm in the Philippines. And I go, really? He goes, yeah, I'm in the Philippines. So Xfinity has Filipino operators and techs. They don't have anybody here in America because they work cheap in the Philippines, real cheap. So I said, JJ, I need your help. And so JJ started to help me. He looked up my account, and we chit-chatted for a while. And I'm trying to be careful where I tread right now. He goes, I see that your account, the last name is, and I go, yeah, that's right. And that's it. He goes, any chance that you're related to this person? I said, well, not me, but my wife is. And he goes, oh my God, you're kidding. I go, no, not at all. Oh my God, she's a superstar here. She's, yes, going on and on. He goes, oh my God, you've made my day. I've had a crush on this lady for so long. I said, that's nice. And we're going on and on. 10 minutes, he was oohing and dribbling on the phones. I said, can we get to the problem before my phone dies? So finally, we get to the problem, and he was so giggly. His name was JJ. So good, but a nice guy, super nice guy, but totally starstruck over, I don't know, nothing. And so I gave him all the details, and he says, I'll put this in as an emergency work order. I said, thank you, JJ, I appreciate that very, very much. By the time I got home, there were trucks there from Xfinity already yanking down the old cables. And I talked to the guy. I said, man, I'm really happy you guys responded. He goes, well, we got your call because we got this from our other corporate office. And I go, yeah, the Philippines, I know exactly. And he goes, we had no idea that this whole community, this area, was without internet and power and phone service. I go, well, you are. He goes, it didn't show up on our computer system. And he said, normally when a node goes down, N-O-D-E, node, and I'll explain, a node is an area. It's not a single house, it's an area. He says an alarm goes off and we are alerted. It really is a problem because we should have been alerted that you had, no service. I said, well, I appreciate that. That was 3 days ago, but I'm glad you're here now. I'm sipping my coffee. And I'm in Gatlinburg, by the way. Yes, I'm in Gatlinburg. I think, I got the windows now, so you can hear all the ambiance. I only got 2 cameras going today. Sorry. I had to. Yeah, it's rolling. Okay, they're rolling. So they came out and they pulled out the old wire. They were very efficient. I was watching them, and they know they work like ants. They knew, without even talking to each other, they knew what to do, which impressed me to no end because they have it down. They have it figured out. Now, I haven't been, how I usually downplay Xfinity because there's always like a single problem, but these guys were on the ball, and I thank Xfinity. AT&T, you can stuff it. I will never get your service. Never ever get your service. I'll use a cup on a string before I get AT&T service. But I talked more with the guy, and he explained to me about the different cables. That the silver ones are internet. They're shielded. I said, well, yeah, clearly they're shielded. That's so that they don't leak. Information doesn't get in and information doesn't get out. He goes, that's right. I said, that's good. I said, what about this big black cable? He goes, that's AT&T. I said, may I ask you why, when things like this go south, why you don't communicate with each other saying, hey, your wires are down along with ours? And he goes, well, there's like a rivalry going on with AT&T and Xfinity, and we just don't talk. Imagine that. And I said, it's a lot like living in a neighborhood and you don't know what your neighbors are doing, or you don't know anything about your neighbors. I said, yet you're all on the same pole together, all 3 companies. You're all in the same pole, but you don't know when one is down, when usually one affects the others. It's a domino effect. If the pole breaks, it affects all of you. So he goes, yeah, that's just the way it is. So I did finally, after 3 days, get my internet up, but still, that AT&T wire is still on the ground, still in my driveway, still on my property, still in the middle of the road, and cars are still driving over it. So AT&T, you suck. You really suck. I will never even consider getting your phone service or anything. I feel bad for the people that don't have their service right now. But that's the way it goes. So there we go. That's the story. So I do have internet, and I was sorry for not posting, because I already had that video edited on Tuesday afternoon. But I couldn't upload it. It was edited, but I couldn't upload it. And I don't do it on my phone. I do it at home on my PC. So it was stuck there on my PC. So here we are in Gatlinburg again. But I didn't plan on coming up here. So I hope you enjoy the ride. I wanted to share with you the story. My plight with AT&T, Xfinity, and the power company. Power was good. Once they knew there was an issue, they came out and did something about it. They were very good about it. But there's definitely a lack of communication between the companies, which seriously needs to be addressed. Seriously. There's plenty of people in Gatlinburg today. It is Thursday. And of course, I'll edit this down as soon as I get home, so that in a timely fashion you can get these videos. Because it did frustrate me, by the way, that I couldn't present you a video the same day that I shoot it. And you can't do live up here. It's spotty at best. And forget about Pigeon Forge. That's even worse. got to stop for the pedestrians. So if you like these videos that Miss Marie and I put out for you, please like, comment, and subscribe. We would appreciate that very much. We put our life on the line driving to Gatlinburg for you. I'll turn this a little bit this way so you can see the crowd. I know you like watching the people like I do, but I got to drive, so I can't watch the people. But when I add it back, I look at everybody and go, oh, okay, look at that, look at that, look at that. And I went in the regular way, which wasn't too bad. A little on the crowd. So tomorrow it'll be crazy here. This is an indicator. If Thursday's crowded, Friday's is going to be a heck of a lot crowded. And Saturday it'll be a zoo. 85 degrees, not too bad, a little humid, a little on the humid side. We had horrendous storms last night. They were very reminiscent of Florida. There were lightning strikes every couple of seconds, rolling thunder, and heavy, heavy rain all night long. Lots of flooding in the area. At least you'll get a contemporary video today. It wasn't my goal, but it just kind of turned out this way. Nice crowd today. Happy crowd. Bet they're glad they weren't out here yesterday. It was hot. Man, you could tell people were sticky, steamy, and not happy with the heat and the humidity. Clearly. I felt bad for them. Because I've walked this in the hot summer, and it's grueling, grueling, grueling. Skylift Park on your right. Let's see, I'm trying to think of anything crazy going on in town. I don't know of any really big events that are happening. There's always these little events that are going on in and around town, but nothing earth-shattering. Got to watch the people. They don't pay attention to the no crossing sign, so they'll just dart out in front of you. Remember that if you're coming up this way, okay? They will just dart out, and you've got to stop. Even if you hit them, you're going to be guilty. So you're better off just go slow, enjoy the drive. You came up here to enjoy it, so why not enjoy it? Don't get aggravated. My good friend Tommy White is back in town. Just got off his live feed with him and Teresa and the dogs that won't die. And he's back in town. I guess he's done with Vince Gill, doing a tour with the Vince Gilster. And they're heading over to Destin, Florida to have a well-deserved vacation. And good for him. Good for him. So the further you get down into Gatlinburg, like I am now, the thinner the crowd is. Yet there's still a lot of stores. There's Howard's Restaurant. Check out Howard's. Great stuff there. Great food at Howard's. And Gatlinburg Hussey, hello. I'm waving to you now. I'm waving out the window. Gatlinburg Hussey is there at Howard's. This is the new restaurant that's going up on the right here next to Crockett's. It's owned by Crockett's, and he's putting up this restaurant, which will be open from lunch and dinner, where Crockett's is only open for breakfast. I forget the name of it. Joshie knows the name. But it's just going to be a spin-off from another restaurant. Coming up on light number 10, which is technically the end of Gatlinburg. Guy almost hits me. Way to go. I have to have eyes in the back of my head with these tourists. And this is the national park. Look at that.